And Eric McNulty joins us now for more on this. Eric, thanks for coming into the studio.
Pleasure, thank you.
Good to have you.
You say that about 50% of the people are worst-case scenario thinkers. What does that mean with respect to coronavirus?
So what that means is that when we hear something is spreading that we're not familiar with, people will go toward, this is the end of the world. I mean, this is where when we get a big storm forecast, they run into the stores and strip the shelves of milk and bread, that kind of thing. And that's not helpful, because if people are hoarding, we'll have individuals with too much and other people who will not have enough. Yeah. And so what really is helpful is if you think and frame this as what's most likely to happen, and look at the evidence and say what's most likely to happen. Most likely, most of us will not get sick. Or if people get sick, we won't get sick at the same time. Most of us, again, in the healthy part of the population, it will not be that severe. So therefore, you don't have to prepare for
the end of the world.
The end of the world. You don't have to get everything. You can get enough to keep yourself for a few days, which is smart for any kind of potential disruption. Have some staples on hand, as we talked about earlier. But framing it as what's most likely to happen is an inherently more positive way of looking at it than what's the worst case that could happen. It can help pull you back from that.
And I know you studied the response to the H1N1 epidemic 11 years ago, the swine flu, as most people remember it. What did you learn from that, and what can we take from that for this particular situation? Well,
some of the learning we've already seen play out in that there are sort of irrational associations. So when it was initially called swine flu, people stopped eating pork. When they heard it came from Mexico, they stopped going to Mexican restaurants.
People have stopped drinking Corona beer.
People have stopped drinking Corona beer right now. People have stopped going to Chinese restaurants. So those kind of responses are not helpful. They're not based in fact. What we also saw was that clear, accurate communication from the leaders at the top really helped. And in that case, the CDC was very much in front, very much telling you, here's what they knew, here's what they didn't know, here's what they were doing to close that gap, and really most important, here's what you can do. So when we talk now about being able to bring some supplies in, getting your medications up, knowing what you can do helps calm people down. Having a plan helps calm you down, keep you out of panic.
You argue, in fact, this is actually a time to be aspirational. How?
So in terms of thinking, how can we be at our best in the midst of this adversity? If you think back to the Boston Marathon bombings, this community rose to the occasion because we helped ourselves, we pulled together, we had real unity of purpose, and we felt like one big family in this town and took care of each other. Think about that now. I was just on the phone with a reporter from Illinois who had this sort of same question of what do we do? I feel a little uncomfortable. And I was like, imagine you're a newsroom at the best it can be during this. You're getting people factual information, what they need to do. You're doing your best. So think the same about your family, your congregation, your school, your community. How can we be at our best during this, helping ourselves but also helping each other?
And that, too, also sort of saves you from that panic mentality.
Absolutely.
Question, I know that you're putting together a mutual aid-style network to respond to coronavirus. How do you do that, and what's involved?
So we're doing it in my neighborhood. I contacted a number of neighbors that we know who are geographically proximate and said, this is coming. Would you be interested in sharing your information so we can help each other? Because, you know, in a dense area like Boston, we don't all have the room to put in 14 days worth of food.
Sure.
Many people don't have the resources to bring in 14 days worth of stuff. What if we all help each other? So if we all have some, and we know that I can count on you and you can count on you, and so on, we can reach out and say, hey, I need this. Can you help me with it? And find ways to obviously transfer goods without doing physical contact. But be that support network, again, will keep people more positive, out of what we call the emotional basement, out of that panic mode, because you know your neighbors know you got someone you can reach out to help. So I think this is a time when people should be reaching out to neighbors and saying, hey, we're going to go through this together. Let's work together. This started from, in my neighborhood, we used to get a blizzard group for big snowstorms. We're all out there shoveling together. Hey, let's go in. Somebody make some chili, somebody else bring some wine, and let's get together and make a more positive experience out of this. So it's a direct outgrowth.
I think it's a great piece of advice, too, because this is the type of thing where people start to feel like maybe they should insulate themselves from others.
Exactly.
But let's do the opposite. Let's actually make sure that other people know that we're there for them.
Right. And do it in a way that obviously manages the social contact appropriately, but you're right. We're there for each other. We're stronger together than we are apart.
Eric McNulty with the National Preparedness Leadership Initiative. Thank you. Thank you for your dog coming as well. Very nice to meet Cooper.
Cooper's here. He's the big star of the show.